In The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, it's up to Princess Zelda to save Hyrule before the entire kingdom and all of its people become stolen away by strange rifts. Luckily, she won't be alone because the ethereal creature Tri is here to help. Between the new story, adorable world, and innovative gameplay, there really is so much to be excited about. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Sunstone, and today we have a brand new episode of Thinking Out Loud, the show where I explore a variety of interesting and exciting gaming topics and share my honest thoughts with you all. Today's hot topic is the highly anticipated release of The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom and the 5 features I am most excited for in this new game. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. First up, I am super excited for the Echoes, which is essentially the main gimmick of this game. In The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, you're going to be able to collect different objects around the world in the form of an echo or a copy of sorts through the help of Tri's powers. And then as you collect these echoes, you can use them in different ways around the world. So for example, if you learn how to create a copy of a bed, you can then create a bed essentially whenever and wherever you want. I'm sure there will be some restrictions and limitations. We have seen that there is a limit to how many echoes you can make. Each specific item takes up a certain amount of Tri's power, as indicated by little triangles, and there will be a cap to how many triangles you can use up at any one time. So while it won't be unlimited, you can make multiple echoes at once, and I'm mostly excited just to see how this influences my own gameplay, because I feel like it's going to be so different for everyone, depending on what you notice, what you think of first, how you choose to overcome different challenges, solve puzzles, approach encounters. I think it just allows for so much flexibility to the point where everyone's gameplay could look a little different, maybe a lot different. And I'm also excited to see how we can use the echoes in different ways, from platforming and traversing the land to engaging in combat, or rather not engaging in combat, maybe acting as distractions in stealth sequences, or solving puzzles, probably both on the overworld and within the dungeons. And I do wonder what other unique effects some of the echoes might have. For example, it was shared that if you find and learn the carrot echo, you can then use that carrot echo to summon a horse that you can then use as a mount to travel around the world. So this is one example of a really unique purpose for an echo, and I'm curious to see what other unique purposes there might be as well. Not to mention that once you put the echoes in combination with so many other features in the game, like the bind and reverse bond powers, the automatons, and even just how different echoes affect other echoes, it really seems like the only limit is your imagination. So I'm very, very much looking forward to getting my hands on this and just seeing what I can create, what I can come up with, and then also seeing how that differs from the experiences of other players. The second thing I am most excited for are the outfits for Zelda, along with the accessories. So specifically, the accessories will have functional benefits. So for example, they might increase your jump height, they might increase the dive time you have, so how long Zelda can hold her breath in the water, might give you a higher chance for hearts to appear around the world. These are just some of the examples we've seen, but I'm sure there's plenty more. So while I do appreciate the functional benefits to those accessories, I'm also really excited to collect all of the different looks for Zelda, because I love being able to customize my character, and I think it'll be so cute to find different outfits for Zelda, maybe see what other hairstyles she'll have, maybe some iconic looks, maybe some surprises, maybe some more unexpected costumes as well for her. So I'm very excited for this. Whether or not the outfits themselves impact gameplay, I feel like most will probably just be cosmetic, but maybe some will also have some effects to them, like the accessories. The third thing I am most excited for is the world. Now, this is for many different reasons. First of all, I love exploration in games. I love taking my time with trying to see like every little corner, climb up every cliff, swim and dive down to find treasures. I want to pick up every rock, slice every blade of grass. I just want to look around and see what I can find, what I can discover, whether it be just a view, maybe secrets, maybe some treasures or collectibles. I also think visiting the different shops will be really fun, you know, meeting the different characters around the world. Like, there's just so much to explore, and it's not just about what exactly we're going to be discovering, but also just how it looks. This art style has to be one of my top 5 favorites of all time in any game. I was so thrilled to see when they announced this title that they were using the same art style from the Link's Awakening remake. I think it's just the most adorable, vibrant, beautiful art style, and it makes everything look almost like little toys, and I love that. So not only am I excited to explore the world, but I'm also excited to explore the world in this specific art style. And of course, I'm also really looking forward to unlocking the different fast travel shrines, because it looks like when you do so, you're gonna actually reveal different parts of the map, and that's something I really enjoy doing in games, whether they be open world or sandbox or somewhere in between. I think it's really satisfying to journey to a new location and then activate something that clears out a new portion of the map. The fourth thing I am super excited for are the side quests specifically, mostly because the examples we've been shown so far seem to offer a pretty good variety. It doesn't look like they're all going to be fetch quests. It doesn't look like they're going to be overly repetitive. It looks like we'll definitely take advantage of many of our abilities within these side quests. So for example, creating echoes, maybe also using the bind and reverse bond powers, maybe using automatons, maybe further down the line using the sword fighter ability. But it looks like we'll have to collect things, fulfill requests, maybe save villagers from monsters, reunite characters, and honestly, who knows what else. I feel like the side quests could probably be very creative in this title, and I also wonder if there's multiple ways to solve and fulfill some of those quests, so that'll be interesting to see. While we don't exactly know what kinds of rewards we might get from doing these side quests, I'm hoping it'll be a nice variety, so not just rupees. Maybe we'll also get some cosmetics, maybe we'll get some more fits, maybe we'll, you know, somehow unlock the horse, for example. Like, some of those features we're really excited for. Maybe some of those will be unlocked through side quests. I'm also just really looking forward to learning more about the world through the side quests. I feel like when games have good side quests, it helps you immerse yourself more in the lore of the world, its characters, the story, all that good stuff. So if it's done right in Echoes of Wisdom, then that'll definitely be a bonus for taking on those side quests. Which kind of leads me into the fifth and final thing that I am most excited for with The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which is the fact that this game offers a new story. So I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. I have never really fully immersed myself in the Zelda universe. I've always felt a little overwhelmed, and I've felt like an outsider almost, just trying to understand what is going on in the Zelda universe. There's so much prestige behind the name and such a huge fan base for the franchise that I've always wanted to get on board. But the timeline has confused me. I've tried to do my research. I've tried to learn the timeline. I have done my best to try and get into it and really understand what's going on in the Zelda games. And honestly, I just got to a point where it kind of felt like I was just too late. Like, I felt like I was too late to get on board. I felt like the ship had sailed and I just missed it. I did play Link's Awakening, which I appreciated because it felt like a more standalone experience. Specifically, I played the remake of it. And I did dabble in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which I got closer with those two games to really getting into the world, but I still felt really overwhelmed just due to the sheer expansiveness of the universe. And I still felt like the story, I don't know, I felt like I was missing something. I really felt like I didn't have all the puzzle pieces to know what was going on. So with this new story, with Zelda as the protagonist, in my favorite art style ever, I feel like all the stars are aligning for me to really get into this new adventure. For whatever reason, I feel like this entry is just a little bit more welcoming to newcomers like me to Zelda, and I really want to learn about everything there is to offer in Hyrule. I want to learn about the Gerudo. I want to learn about the Zora. I want to learn about the different regions. I really want to learn about all of these different characters and places and just how things work in this world without feeling like I should already know everything and like feeling lost. So that's the thing that I'm probably just the most excited for, is to finally, hopefully, feel at home in a Zelda game and really like get into it, because I've always wanted to. This also makes me really excited for the future of Zelda games. I I personally hope to see Zelda being playable more often. I hope to see more of this art style, whether it be for Zelda games or other Nintendo games. And I hope to see the continuation of these really fun, playful, innovative gameplay mechanics, not just in Zelda games again, but throughout Nintendo's different IPs. So those were the 5 things that I'm most excited for in The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. But what did you think? In a recent poll, I asked what you are doing first when you get your hands on The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. And half of you voted for exploring every corner of the world, which, as I mentioned, is also one of my top picks. Again, I love how the world looks. I love what we've been shown of the different zones, the different characters, and just how fun it's going to be to wander around and see what you can discover. Next up, 29% of you voted for focusing on the main storyline. And as I said, I am really excited for those side quests, and I plan to do a lot of them. I really want to focus on the main storyline as well and balance that with exploration and taking detours and honestly playing how I want to play. But I do want to bring my focus back to that main storyline to not only get into the lore and the world of Zelda, as I was previously discussing, but also to complete this game. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like these days I'm not completing so many games. I'm very much starting them and then never finishing them. And this game is one that I am so determined to play front to back. I'm gonna hold myself accountable to this. Maybe some of you can relate to this, but yeah, I feel like focusing on the main storyline will definitely help me actually complete the story and see how it ends, because I want to see an ending to a story in a game once in a while, 18% of you voted for collecting everything as an echo, which I did see some of you said this could be, combined with exploration. This is definitely going to be one of those games where you might have to change the way you're thinking about it and how you're looking at it and just try things. Don't be afraid to try something that doesn't work. I think the more you try, the more fun you can have. And then only 4% of you voted for visiting the still world and the dungeons. And this is honestly a part of the game that I haven't given too much thought into, which is kind of interesting because dungeons are such a big thing in Zelda games. And specifically the still world for me, I'm really curious about. It looks so cool. It looks like perspective is all shifted and everything looks a little off. There's platforms that are like completely turned upside down and you have to like platform around it. I feel like that looks really fun. The dungeons are probably going to be really interesting too with all of the new abilities we have, and there'll be lots of puzzles to solve and boss battles and such. For whatever reason, I'm personally just a little bit more excited for almost everything else, but maybe once I get into the still world and into the dungeons, it might be like my new favorite thing. So let me know down in the comments what feature you're most excited about for The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, whether or not you voted on this poll, anything and everything. I always love hearing from you. I will be streaming The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom starting on Friday, so make sure you're subscribed with your notifications on to stay in the loop. And with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and until next time, take care.